Howdy, partners. This is Kiram with with Massive Effect, massiveeffectmarketing.com. So we make your website from this into this. We've got a website right here, a construction site, which is under construction, and there it's nearly done. This isn't one of ours. This is someone who reached out to us and said how much they hate their website, and we're going to show you what's wrong with this. There's a whole bunch wrong. So first things first, this is a WordPress template. So right off the bat, it's going to look like every other website on the web, which is never a good thing because then it's just going to be unmemorable, and you don't want that. You want to be memorable. You have to create an effect. You have to be distinct, and that is the kiss of death if your website is generic and unmemorable. So that's what you get when you fly WordPress. You get these templates and they all look the same. Even if you change out the background photo and the headings and this and that, they all have the same vibe. But what I want to show you is this. So we scroll through, right? Okay, yeah, welcome, fine. We have a photo, some services, some text, a whole bunch of text, and then some testimonials and kind of a really unusual layout. Then we hit the bottom and we're done. So to some this might seem, okay, yeah, so what's the big deal? Well, let me tell you what the big deal is. First, we start off right here, okay? And there's key data in here, right? We've got this fellow, this bloke, all right, in the industry for 20 years. That needs to be emphasized. We need to be shouting that on this web page, but it's just tucked away here in this big block of text. Another thing, retired firefighter paramedic, all right? This is huge. This is instant trust, all right? When you're doing business, people do business with you if they trust you. And medics and firefighters are highly trusted, and this is not really being mentioned at all. It's just hidden away in this text, and people aren't really going to see this because people don't read, they scan, and they look at headings. So not many people are going to even see this, and this is some of their best selling points. All right, you can trust this guy. He's been doing it for years, and he's a good bloke, right? What else are we missing in here? Well, actual lists of the services they do. How about this? Licensed and insured techs. Bloody hell. This is key information, all right? So there's three crucial trust elements hidden away in this paragraph that very few people are going to read. Therefore, very few people who land on here are going to know that. Therefore, they're literally just, the trust juice is just leaking through the cracks, if that makes any sense. You want to feature that info really strong, with something like this. Over at Massive Effect, doing it since 2003, built over 300 websites, audited 200 last year. These pieces of information are displayed in a way where they're consumed and they're emphasized. When I look at this, I'm like, oh God, let me keep scrolling because I don't want to look at this. Nobody wants to read that unless I'm deep in the funnel and I'm interested. But you have to realize most people are at the top of the funnel in awareness, all right? And they're not down into interest or desire yet, and they're just going to scan right through that. So make it easy on them. Format the data like this. Put lots of big, negative space, right? Lots of negative space, headings, and pieces of text like this. This whole thing should be rewritten with a section like this. All right, this is key. Building trust, right? How many years have you been in business? That's a key point. How many projects have you done? If you want to apply this to your website, how many years in business? How many projects have you done? And then use your creativity to think of another one. I'm not going to give you everything, but that's a great example. Okay, right here, and we're not getting any of that. I would take this section like that and put it right here at the top so people see it right up front. All right, so that's one huge issue. All right, we've got trust factors that are just being wasted. The next is the photo. I mean, I like that it's weird and unusual, but at the same time, what do we want to communicate? I don't think this is going to work for them. Okay, fine, it's different and unusual, and that's memorable. But I think what would work a lot stronger is just a good photo of the owner. Come on down to Frontline, like this. Here he is. Bam. Really properly introduce them. So instead of making two sections, see, this should be two sections and not one. Instead of having the owner, a pic of the owner, and then this really broad overview, they need to do it up like, okay, here's the owner. Hello, I'm blah. I've been doing blah, blah, blah. And like, not even have this much text, but just this. And then have the section with those vital statistics like this. So breaking it up into more sections, in other words, there's this too much cramming of things into one space. And a great example of that is down here. All right, this is just sweet Jesus. This is like reading a newspaper. Nobody wants to look at this. People are going to look at the headings, and the heading doesn't tell you, the text tells you, right? The info is in the text, not the heading, except for this one. These are all generics, right? What do? Why? Our. That's not communicating. So this is just a lot to digest. Nobody wants to look at all this unless they're, as I said, very deep in the funnel and interested. So the issue here is we have several distinct sections that should all have their own spots. For instance, why work with us? This could be broken down, this whole paragraph could be broken down into something like this, right? Why work with us? Well, we take pride in our work, we treat you with respect, we're reliable. So you take this one piece and you really spread it out and make it clear and communicative like this. This will be digested, this will not, all right? Our guarantee, that could be a whole section in itself, all right? Or it could be included in one of these three, right? Guaranteed, 100% money back guarantee, right? That could be included in there. So let's look at the other one. This should definitely be its own section. What we do, for sure, should be its own section. So instead of cramming them all together, they should really break these down into individual sections, like what we're doing over here at Frontline, right? So everything is really spaced out. Everything can breathe, right? What we do here. This should be broken up as well. So I think you get the idea. Moving along. The way the testimonials are laid out is a little weird. Not super easy to consume like this. It's good to be different, but you want to be easily consumed. So I would rethink that. And then one problem is we reach the bottom of this page and there is no strong call to action. There's no form. Now maybe because this is under construction, they're going to add that. But you definitely want to have some sort of a bucket at the end to capture the trickle of traffic that is trickling through the homepage. So that's a really big issue. And that's just the beginning. There's other factors involved here. But I just want to show you that so you don't make the same mistake. And you might not think that, but when you start digging in and you know what you're looking for, you start seeing that very few websites are doing things according to best practices. So if you want your website made with best practices in mind, come on down to Massive Effect Marketing. We will take your website from this to this. We've been around for ages, since 2003. We do it right. And just come on down, massiveeffectmarketing.com. And if you have a website, I can do a little video for you. Just go ahead and put it in the comments, put your website address, and then we can do a video and give you some suggestions so you can rock and roll, improve your website, and get more sales. All right. So until the next time, thank you very much and take care.